Think your yogurt bowl is always a healthy choice? Think again. Some common add-ins could be quietly wrecking your gut health. Food number 1. Citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, grapefruits. Why you should avoid mixing them with yogurt. You might think it's a great idea to squeeze some fresh lemon juice into your yogurt or toss in a few orange segments for a citrusy twist. I used to do that all the time myself. The tanginess felt refreshing, like a little burst of sunshine in my bowl. But what I didn't realize for the longest time was just how much that acid from citrus fruits could mess with the very probiotics that make yogurt so beneficial. Let me break this down a bit. Probiotics are these live bacteria and yeasts that are great for our digestive system. They help keep our gut balanced, assist in breaking down food, and support our immune defenses. Yogurt is one of the best natural sources of probiotics, which is why many of us seniors rely on it to keep our digestion in check. However, citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, grapefruits, contain a lot of citric acid. This acid, while good for immune health and packed with vitamin C, is quite harsh in terms of pH. When you add citrus directly to yogurt, the acidic environment becomes too extreme for the probiotics. The friendly bacteria are delicate and can't survive well when exposed to too much acid outside the controlled environment of yogurt itself. I remember reading a study once that showed how acidic environments can kill up to 90% of probiotic bacteria in foods. That's huge. Imagine eating yogurt to feed your gut bacteria and then wiping them out because you mixed it with lemon or orange. That's exactly what happens. And here's where it gets worse. When those probiotics don't survive, your gut flora balance gets disrupted. That can lead to bloating, gas, indigestion, and even inflammation in the gut lining. For seniors whose digestive systems might already be a little more sensitive or slower, this can become a real problem. You might ask, but isn't my stomach acidic enough already? Yes, the stomach is naturally acidic to help break down food, but probiotics are protected inside the yogurt matrix, kind of like a little safe house. When you add citrus, it's like throwing a grenade in the safe house before the probiotics even reach your gut. Now think about the vitamin C in citrus. Amazing for fighting off colds, right? Absolutely. But when that same vitamin C reacts with the proteins in yogurt, it can cause curdling right in your stomach. This curdling slows down digestion and makes you feel heavy and uncomfortable, especially after a meal. I started noticing this myself when I began adding orange segments to my morning yogurt bowl. Instead of feeling energized, I'd get this bloated, sluggish feeling that lasted for hours. It was subtle at first, but over time it became clear that the combo wasn't doing me any favors. So, if you're a fan of fruit with your yogurt, try swapping out citrus for berries, melon, or even apples. These fruits are less acidic and won't kill off those precious probiotics. Plus, they add their own unique flavors and nutrients without the digestive downside. Here's a little question for you. Have you ever felt bloated or uncomfortable after having yogurt with lemon or orange? If yes, you're not alone, and now you know why. You know, it's funny how we often think something as simple as mixing two healthy foods together can only boost our health. But the truth is, nature has its own chemistry that we don't always see right away. I mean, citrus fruits and yogurt on their own are both fantastic. Citrus is loaded with antioxidants and vitamin C, which are like little bodyguards for your immune system. Yogurt is packed with those helpful probiotics that keep your gut flora thriving. But put them together the wrong way, and it's like setting those bodyguards and helpers against each other. They don't work in harmony. Another thing I learned is that this acidic reaction doesn't just stop in the yogurt bowl. Once you eat the combo, that extra acid can linger in your digestive tract, irritating the delicate lining of your stomach and intestines. That irritation can cause low-grade inflammation that's not always painful, but definitely makes you feel off. And over time, that ongoing irritation can worsen gut health and even impact how well your body absorbs nutrients from other foods. For seniors, nutrient absorption is already a challenge, so we really want to avoid anything that makes it harder. Also, think about those times when you've had yogurt with citrus and later noticed more frequent trips to the bathroom, or a bit of discomfort that you couldn't quite explain. That's your gut's way of sending signals, a warning that it's not handling the combo well. I wish someone had told me earlier because I spent months wondering why my digestion felt off some mornings. It's also interesting that not all citrus fruits are created equal in this respect. Grapefruits tend to be the worst offenders because they're highly acidic and can even interfere with certain medications. Oranges and lemons are a bit milder, but still strong enough to disrupt the probiotic balance if mixed with yogurt. So even if you don't feel an immediate reaction, the silent damage might be happening beneath the surface. What's more, the curdling effect inside your stomach isn't just uncomfortable, it slows down how fast your stomach empties. That sluggishness can leave you feeling lethargic and heavy, not the energizing start to the day you were hoping for. I found myself craving a nap mid-morning after those citrus yogurt breakfasts, which was pretty frustrating. On the flip side, berries like blueberries, strawberries, or raspberries have a much gentler impact on the pH balance when combined with yogurt. They bring their own antioxidants and fiber to the table without overwhelming the probiotics. Melons are also great because they're mostly water, helping to keep you hydrated while easing digestion. Apples add a nice crunch and sweetness with pectin, a fiber that actually feeds good gut bacteria instead of hurting them. It's kind of wild when you think about it, the difference in how our bodies react to similar foods just based on chemistry. It's a reminder that eating healthy isn't just about what's good or bad on its own, but how foods interact together once they're inside us. Paying attention to these little details has made a big difference in how I feel after meals, especially as I've gotten older. And here's a little secret. If you love that citrus flavor, try drinking a small glass of citrus juice separately, well before or after your yogurt meal. That way, you still get the vitamin C boost without harming the probiotic army in your gut. So next time you're reaching for that lemon wedge or slicing an orange to toss into your yogurt, pause for a moment and think, am I really doing my gut a favor, or am I setting up a silent war inside my belly? Food number 2, bananas. The hidden trouble with your favorite smoothie buddy. You know, bananas and yogurt just seem like a no-brainer match, right? The creamy sweetness of ripe banana blending perfectly with the tangy smoothness of yogurt. It almost feels like a treat rather than a health decision. I was that person blending up banana smoothies almost daily, convinced I was doing something super healthy. But the gut is a tricky beast, especially as we age, and sometimes what seems like a perfect pairing can quietly cause trouble. Here's the thing about resistant starch in bananas. It's like a double-edged sword. When bananas are underripe, that resistant starch acts a bit like fiber, passing through the upper gut and making its way into the colon, where it becomes fuel for fermentation by gut bacteria. That's generally a good thing because feeding your gut bugs is essential for a healthy microbiome. But combine that with the probiotics in yogurt, and suddenly it's like inviting way too many guests to a party that your gut wasn't ready to host. What really caught me off guard was the sheer amount of gas and bloating this combo could cause. It's not just a little discomfort. It can turn a perfectly good morning into an afternoon of awkward bloating and the need to constantly adjust your clothes. And trust me, as we get older, this discomfort is more than just inconvenient. It can interfere with how much we enjoy our meals and even our social life. The slowdown in digestion is another hidden challenge. Bananas' soluble fiber turning into that gel-like substance is great when you want to keep things regular. But pair that with yogurt's dairy proteins, and you're essentially making your stomach work overtime to break everything down. I learned this when I started noticing that after my banana yogurt smoothies, I felt heavy and lethargic rather than light and energized. It's like your digestive system is stuck in slow motion, which is the opposite of what you want to feel after eating. Seniors, in particular, have to be extra careful here because our digestion naturally becomes less efficient with age. Add in foods that slow the process further, and constipation or nutrient malabsorption can creep in before you even realize it. I've spoken with friends who struggled with irregularity for years, only to find out that simple food combos like this were partially to blame. One more angle that surprised me is the sugar load from this duo. Bananas have a pretty high glycemic index, meaning they release sugar into your bloodstream fairly quickly. When combined with the lactose in yogurt, which is milk sugar, you're basically getting a double whammy of sugar. Over time, those sugar spikes can unbalance your gut flora and even influence your blood sugar regulation, which is something seniors especially need to watch out for. It's a sneaky effect that doesn't show up immediately, but builds quietly. What really caught me off guard was how this sugar combo can sneak up on you. At first, it feels like a quick energy boost, but those blood sugar spikes can lead to crashes that leave you feeling tired and foggy later on. For seniors, managing blood sugar is crucial to avoid risks like insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. Plus, fluctuating sugar levels can feed the wrong types of bacteria in your gut, throwing off the delicate balance even more. Over time, this can cause more frequent digestive issues, fatigue, and even cravings for more sugary foods. A vicious cycle nobody wants. So, keeping an eye on how these sugars interact is key for maintaining steady energy and gut health. I've had days when I felt like my energy was zapped by midday, and looking back, it was almost always tied to those banana yogurt breakfasts. Once I started separating the two, having yogurt in the morning and bananas a few hours later, the difference was like night and day. No more bloating, no more sluggishness. If you're wondering about alternatives, berries are a fantastic swap. They're low in fermentable starch, easier on the digestive system, and packed with antioxidants and fiber that actually support good gut health. I've even tried blending yogurt with a handful of blueberries or strawberries and noticed how much lighter and more refreshed I feel afterward. It's funny how sometimes the best health advice is about timing and combinations rather than avoidance. You don't have to give up bananas or yogurt. Just pay attention to how your body responds when you eat them together versus separately. It's all about listening to your gut, literally. Here's something to ponder. Have you ever felt unexpectedly gassy or bloated after a smoothie or snack you thought was healthy? Sometimes the cause isn't the individual foods, but how they mix inside your digestive system. That's a game changer in thinking about diet, especially as we get older. Food number 3, honey, the sweet trap that can backfire. Honey and yogurt, they really do seem like a perfect match when you think about it. That golden drizzle of honey on a bowl of creamy yogurt looks so inviting, like a little sweet reward after a healthy choice. I used to do this every single morning without giving it much thought, but the more I learned about gut health and probiotics, the more I realized that honey might not be the innocent sweetener I believed it to be in this combo. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Honey is famous for its antimicrobial properties. It's been used for centuries as a natural remedy for wounds, infections, and even sore throats. So, at first glance, it seems like a superfood ally. But here's the catch. Those very antimicrobial qualities don't just attack the bad bugs. They can also harm the good ones, including the probiotics in yogurt that we rely on to keep our gut flora balanced. Think of it like this. You invite honey to your gut party because it's supposed to keep the place clean, but it ends up tossing out some of the helpful guests too. Honey contains compounds like hydrogen peroxide and flavonoids, which are fantastic at fighting off harmful bacteria and fungi, but they don't really discriminate. The delicate probiotics that are trying to settle in your gut don't stand a chance against that. For seniors like me, this becomes a real issue. Our gut bacteria populations already tend to decline with age, which can affect everything from digestion to immunity. So preserving every bit of good bacteria we can get is vital. I used to think that adding honey was making my yogurt healthier, but it was probably undermining the very benefits I was aiming for. Then, there's the texture and digestion aspect. Honey is sticky and viscous, and when combined with the proteins in yogurt, it creates this thick, slow-moving mass in the digestive tract. For younger people, this might just mean a slower release of energy, but for seniors, whose digestive motility slows down naturally, it can lead to uncomfortable constipation and sluggish digestion. I started noticing those long, heavy days when my gut felt like it was dragging, and now I realize my honey habit might have been a part of that. Another hidden problem is honey's sugar content. While natural, it's still a sugar source that feeds not only good bacteria, but also bad bacteria and yeast. If you're consuming too much honey regularly, you could be unintentionally giving the less friendly microbes in your gut a feast. That imbalance can lead to all sorts of problems, from bloating and gas to more serious issues like yeast overgrowth. What's tricky is that honey's sweetness can easily lead us to overconsume it without realizing. It's easy to think, it's natural, so it must be fine, but too much of even good things can tip the balance in the wrong direction. When bad bacteria and yeast start to take over, they crowd out the good guys, making digestion sluggish and uncomfortable. For seniors whose immune systems and gut health are already more fragile, this can be a real problem. That's why moderation matters, even with natural sweeteners like honey. Listening to your body's signals is the best way to keep things balanced and feeling good. One of the moments that really made me rethink honey was after a particularly heavy breakfast, where I topped my yogurt with a generous helping of it. Later that day, I felt sluggish, bloated, and just generally off. It was subtle enough that I almost ignored it, but after cutting back on honey, those symptoms lessened significantly. It made me realize how powerful these food combinations can be. So, what did I do instead? I started experimenting with other ways to add a bit of sweetness or flavor without harming my gut health. Cinnamon quickly became a favorite. It adds a warm, slightly spicy note without interfering with probiotics. Pureed fruits like strawberries or peaches also became my go-to. They bring natural sweetness and fiber without the antimicrobial effects. It's fascinating how small tweaks in what we eat can make such a big difference in how we feel. Have you ever thought about why some yogurt combos make you feel sluggish or constipated? It could very well be the honey. Our gut is a delicate ecosystem, and while honey is amazing for some things, it's not always the best partner for probiotic-rich yogurt. I also discovered that timing matters. Sometimes having honey separately from yogurt, like in tea or on toast, avoids this clash. But mixing them directly means risking killing off those friendly bacteria we're trying to nurture. That's a subtle but important point for anyone serious about gut health. And here's something else that blew my mind. The way honey can actually slow down digestion means nutrients from other foods might not get absorbed as efficiently. For seniors, who need all the nutrition they can get, that's a big deal. Slower digestion can mean missing out on essential vitamins and minerals just because our food isn't breaking down properly. Plus, it's not just about gut health. The sugar spikes from honey, combined with the lactose in yogurt, can affect blood sugar levels. This is particularly important for seniors managing or trying to prevent diabetes. The combo can lead to those nasty blood sugar swings that leave you feeling tired or cranky later on. So, if you love the taste of honey, I'm not saying give up on it entirely. Just be mindful of when and how you use it. Separating honey from your probiotic foods or choosing other natural sweeteners can make a big difference. It's all about balance and paying attention to what your body tells you. Have you ever tried cutting honey out of your yogurt routine and noticed a change? It's worth a shot if you're experiencing any gut discomfort or sluggishness. Sometimes the best health hacks are the ones we never thought of, like rethinking that seemingly innocent honey drizzle. Looking back, it's crazy how these common food combos can quietly harm our gut health, especially for seniors. The friendly bacteria in yogurt are like tiny warriors fighting for our digestion, immunity, and even mood. Protecting them means avoiding these silent gut killers. Citrus fruits, bananas, and honey, at least when eaten with yogurt. For me, adjusting what I eat with my yogurt made a huge difference. No more bloating, better digestion, and overall a happier gut. It's wild to think that something as simple as a fruit or a drizzle of honey could have such a big impact on how we feel every day. Our gut is way more sensitive than most of us realize, especially as we get older. Sometimes the foods we think are helping us might actually be holding us back. That's why paying attention to how different foods interact is key to unlocking better health. Small changes can lead to big improvements, and it all starts with understanding what really works for your body. So, keep exploring and listening to your gut. It knows more than you think. If this info helped you protect your gut health, hit like and subscribe for more senior-friendly health tips. Share this video with your family and friends so they can avoid these silent gut killers too. Stay healthy and gut happy. See you in the next video.